Buffalo isn't sleeping, my friends. While other NFL teams are still testing players in the preseason, the Bills are making strong moves and making decisions that could change the fate of the franchise. Some of these moves are already confirmed, others are about to happen, and all of them have a direct impact on the future of the team. I'll reveal everything, but first, like and subscribe, because you won't believe what's coming. Anticipation among Buffalo Bills fans is sky high, with rumors circulating about Gabe Davis's return to the franchise. What seemed like a closed chapter in Davis's history in Buffalo could turn into one of the most strategic moves for the team in recent memory. The wide receiver, who was one of Josh Allen's biggest targets from 2020 to 2023, is scheduled to meet with the Bills this Wednesday. What seemed like a simple consultation could actually be the beginning of a new era for the explosive partnership between Allen and Davis. During his time in Buffalo, Davis built a solid legacy, accumulating 163 receptions, 2,730 yards, and 27 touchdowns in 64 games, becoming a key part of the passing attack. But there's one game that will undoubtedly remain etched in fans' memories: a historic performance in the 2022 AFC Divisional Round, where Davis dazzled with 201 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Kansas City Chiefs in a dramatic overtime matchup. The chemistry between him and Josh Allen has never been questioned, but the question now is, could this reunion be the key to a renewed rise for the Bills' offense? The timing of this meeting couldn't be more crucial. The Buffalo Bills are facing a delicate situation at wide receiver. The team has given up some key options, with Khalil Shakir dealing with an ankle injury and Jalen Virgil being placed on the injured list. With these absences, depth has become a concern. Having Gabe Davis back is not only an attractive idea, but a strategic necessity for the Bills to maintain their offensive potential at the highest level. The proven relationship between Allen and Davis may be what's needed to ensure a more reliable and explosive attack. Furthermore, the movement doesn't end there. The recent signing of Grant DuBose, a former Dolphins wide receiver, brings a glimmer of hope to the position. But the truth is that DuBose, so far, is still trying to prove himself in Buffalo. Compared to Davis, DuBose's impact on the Bills' offensive lineup is much more uncertain. On the other hand, the certainty that Davis could become a reliable target for Allen again only increases the anticipation surrounding this reunion. His return would not only be a reinforcement, but a strengthening of the previous structure that could elevate the team to a new level of competitiveness. It's important to remember that the Buffalo Bills are not only dealing with injury challenges, but also with increasing pressure to remain at the top of the AFC East. Competitors are strengthening, and Buffalo needs to adapt quickly. Gabe Davis's return, if it materializes, could be the boost needed to keep the Bills firmly in the hunt for the division title, and perhaps even more. The tried and true Allen-Davis dynamic brings extra confidence to fans eager for another spectacle from this duo. But, as we know, in American football, nothing is guaranteed. What seemed like a farewell to Davis could actually turn into a triumphant return that defies expectations. The reunion between Davis and the Bills could be a game changer, not only for the immediate future, but also for how Buffalo positions itself to face the AFC Giants. Now, a question lingers on everyone's mind. Can Davis truly relive the magic alongside Josh Allen, or will this encounter be just a flash in the pan? The truth is, the pieces are falling into place, and the Bills are closer than ever to creating an offense that can strike fear into any defense. If Davis returns, he will not only strengthen the receiving core, but also restore to Buffalo the explosive connection that made fans dream of big wins in the past. But while Gabe Davis's return may strengthen the chemistry with Josh Allen, the Bills are also making tough roster decisions, cutting young prospects who haven't performed. The Buffalo Bills are not only focusing on strengthening their offensive line, but are also making necessary adjustments. Wide receiver Caden Prather, a 2025 draft pick, was released after a short stint with the team. But what's particularly noteworthy here are the new acquisitions that could be key players: running back Jarvion Howard and wide receiver Grant DuBose. These additions represent the Bills' ongoing quest to balance the roster's strengths and increase competitiveness. With Darrington Evans placed on injured reserve due to a hamstring injury, the moves couldn't be more urgent. Howard has a strong track record, having played in the UFL, where he recorded 310 yards on 68 carries, while DuBose, formerly of the Green Bay Packers, is a strategic addition to increase depth at wide receiver. But will these players actually earn roster spots? The unknowns surrounding the depth at wide receiver and running back will shape Buffalo's rumor mill. And in the midst of these arrivals and departures, a much bigger movement emerges, a possible bombshell trade that could change the level of Buffalo's defense.
The Buffalo Bills are buzzing with rumors, moves, and trades that could determine the franchise's fortunes in the 2025 season. And nothing is more intriguing than a potential trade with the Cincinnati Bengals that could transform Buffalo's fortunes. The name of the moment? Trey Hendrickson, the legendary pass rusher and NFL sack leader, leader. But what's at stake here? Let's dive behind the scenes and see how this move could redefine the season and their quest for the Super Bowl. Hendrickson, currently a cornerstone of the Bengals' defense, has been a key player on Cincinnati's defensive line, becoming one of the most feared pass rushers in the league. However, there's one detail that has everyone on alert. Hendrickson is resisting training camp, apparently seeking a new contract. This has raised alarm bells in Cincinnati, which is open to negotiations, and seeking draft capital and young defenders in return. And that's where the Bills come in, as one of the most likely teams to knock on the Bengals' door. And what would the proposed Bills be? Well, rumors indicate that Buffalo would be willing to offer A.J. Epinesa and Curtis Samuel, plus a 2026 second-round pick. In return, the Bills would receive Hendrickson and a fifth-round pick. It may seem like a hefty trade, but Hendrickson's impact on Buffalo could be monumental. Let's talk impact. Hendrickson brings with him a pass-rushing ability that Buffalo desperately needs. Buffalo's defense has already made some great additions, like Joey Bosa, but Hendrickson's arrival could be the missing piece to make this defense the most unbeatable in the league. With a talent like Hendrickson, the Buffalo Bills would not only gain strength up front, but also have constant pressure on opposing quarterbacks, which would undoubtedly elevate the team to a new level. However, and here's the crucial point, Cincinnati and Buffalo are conference rivals. A trade between these two AFC powerhouses wouldn't be easy, especially with the Bengals focused on a defensive defense and seeking the best possible return. While Hendrickson's price tag, including players like Epinesa and Samuel and a second-round pick, seems steep for the Bills, it could be the price they have to pay for an elite pass rusher who could be the key to reaching the Super Bowl. And if that actually happens, well, we could be witnessing the definitive move to make the Buffalo Bills the most feared franchise in the AFC. If this trade goes through, the addition of Hendrickson would have a direct impact on the season, putting Buffalo in an even stronger position in its quest for the title. Hendrickson isn't just a good player. He's the kind of asset who can turn the tide at the most crucial moments. And let's not forget the psychological aspect. A trade of this magnitude with a direct rival only boosts the team's confidence, bringing even more motivation to the players. And who knows, Hendrickson's arrival could even galvanize the team, creating a no quarterback is safe mentality. But there are obstacles. We can't ignore the fact that AFC teams, especially the Bengals, will make this negotiation as difficult as possible. There's a chess game being played where Buffalo will have to use every card it has to pull off this advantageous trade. The scenario is unpredictable, but what we do know is that the Bills don't want to let this opportunity pass them by. The 2025 season is already heating up, and the Buffalo Bills' moves are accelerating. The return of Gabe Davis, the new additions to the roster, and the pursuit of a trade for Trey Hendrickson are just some of the ingredients that promise to spice up the season. And make no mistake, the Bills know exactly what they're doing. They're playing to win. With their strongest offensive line, an offense led by Josh Allen, and a defense that could be transformed by Hendrickson's arrival, Buffalo is showing clear signs that they will stop at nothing to win the long-awaited Super Bowl. With Gabe Davis's potential changes, the intense roster movement with releases and signings, and the rumored Trey Hendrickson trade, how do you think these could impact the Buffalo Bills' quest for the Super Bowl in 2025? What needs to happen for these moves to truly bring them back to the top of the AFC? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Buffalo Bills news.